What's good, everyone? Matt here at Nambo once again, probably for the last time ever. Uh, this is here for an NB show tonight. It's actually going to be a 9th Gen show, which you know how my family is. I'm not the biggest fan of 9th Gen shows or whatnot, but Nishiuma's here. Is also the only show that I was going to be playing during my trip here, so just took the opportunity and did it. But yeah, I'm also joined by Jack. He's real excited. It's his first theater show ever. Huge fan of 9th Gen.
Sure.
You can't see his excitement. It's not in the video, but yeah, he's so excited. He can't control himself.
Better than 8th Gen.
Better than 8th Gen, yes. You heard it here
So
first.
no.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to actually be, it'll be interesting to see. At least I got Nishima here, so I'm happy. That's all I needed. Jack's favorite is not here, so he's going to be like looking for someone, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who can say? Yeah. Actually, we got like our ticket numbers, so I'm like 83, he's 96, or the other way around. 98, 86. There's a chance we might be in the same row. That would be funny if it happens. We'll be the Gaijin train, the Gaijin block, cornerstones or whatever. But yeah, anyway, we're going to go pick up our tickets and then go watch the show and let you guys know how it was. Alright, so we just got done watching the 9th Gen show. Actually, there's a couple things that I noticed actually when going into the lobby to pick up our tickets. They have like a bunch of like Christmas like decorations set up. I remember, I guess they did it on YouTube like a week ago. I totally forgot. So I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of like stuff on like the table where they usually display like the like birthday decorations and stuff. But there's not a birthday show. So yeah, anyway, yeah. So for me, third 9th Gen show, still like kind of feel some parts are okay, some parts not. Most part is not okay. Yeah, so we were 83 and 98, right? Or yeah, 86, something like that. So actually, we ended up being in the same row. Unfortunately, it was the second to last row from the back, and on the corners. I was in the Matto corner, the typical far left side, and then Jack, he was in the kind of corner. So it's like the last two rows, like they break up, and then there's like this little like tiny island with two seats, and so he was in one of those seats on the island. So that was a.
There have been worse fates. I
Yeah.
mean, at least I wasn't like on top of somebody.
Yeah, or you weren't like in the faraway island. The faraway island is even worse than Tiny Island.
And the Ojisans in front of me were not like super tall, so my sight line was okay.
Yeah, it's like the only benefit of the top, like the back rows, because they're a lot higher than like the lower ones, so you actually have a better sight than the front rows. That's like the only benefit, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, but what was it like being in the theater, like the lobby and like the parts that you actually can't see usually?
Yeah. So it's like, wow, these girls are short. And it's like, intellectually that they're very short. That like Ray is like fits underneath my chin. But it's like, wow, they're short. The theater, it's.
Oh, you were talking about like the measuring charts,
Yeah,
right? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, you said anyway.
Okay,
And it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just they actually. I'm surprised at like how not hot it was, especially compared to over the weekend.
Yeah, today was actually like, I mean, I had my jacket on for like most of it, and then like Encore took it off. Most because I wanted to show off my YNN shirt I was wearing under this. But yeah, it was actually they were, they knew how warm to set it to. I guess sometimes these are just too hot. In summer, usually they don't turn on the air conditioner, so it gets funky. So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's like, wow. Are there like underneath the numbers that they actually use, are there like numbers from when they used to do the Yoshimoto? Because I saw.
Oh yeah, you see like
Yeah.
A12 and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? Yeah, I think like back when it was like the old days. Yeah, that was how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess come before if they do remodel it, come beforehand but maybe don't because it kind of looks crappy.
Scrappy, yeah. How were the seats, like the actual like seats?
Fine. I mean, they're not the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in. I am just a little bit, narrower than Matt, so I don't have the same issues he does. But
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, Well, I mean the island, because the island you can kind of like pitch out a bit.
Yeah.
So
Like, you're in
that
tile,
that was
yeah.
actually that was nice. So I can't say what it's like to be in the middle of the thing, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I guess if you're on the side, that's the only bit. Yeah, you can like kind of stretch out a bit more. You know, it's like an airplane. You know, the seats are very uncomfortable. But yeah, you might notice like some like girls or whatever they bring like cushions and stuff to sit on.
Somebody like they had the staff pass them a cushion or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So pro tip: if you're a small girl, ask the staff for a cushion, and you'll give you a booster seat.
This means you,
Shout out to you, Logic.
our favorite small girl.
All right, yeah. I guess like you kind of like just like went into like the main like that hallway with like the photos and the those measurements. You didn't see like the 8th gen, 9th gen measurements over by the toilets.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see the infamous toilets.
Yes.
Next time.
Maybe one day.
One day, yeah.
Next year in the toilets.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. So I guess we noticed because, like, so this is like the first theater show they did after like some of the 9th Gen members got promoted. So you look at the photos; they already rearranged the photos. Like they put like
Ribbons.
Yucatan and Nihei, Minami, and Team N. They put Rapon and M, and they put Wakatan and B2. Yeah, and they had the little ribbons saying, "Okay, they're promoted." That's usually what they do whenever that happens. So.
In case you've never been here and don't know, that's what happens.
Yeah. And like ground allowed to take pictures of them, so that's how it goes. On like their birthday as well, there'll be a little ribbon like on their picture too. It's like today's main character is usually what the kanji is, like Honichi no Shujinko or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of like the whole like the go into the theater.
The
So
theater experience.
yeah, it's kind of so the size seems smaller than you expected, or about how you thought.
I mean, it looks. Just the camera angle on stream looks like kind of crowded, and it's, maybe not that crowded, but it's still pretty tight.
Yeah. It's almost like basically where we were sitting is basically kind of the same perspective you get from like watching the stream. So,
Yeah.
But I guess the difference between like this show and like the concerts we were like our season's concerts was you can at least see the members a lot clearer and a lot better, so you can tell who's singing and know when to do the mixes and stuff, right?
You don't need binoculars to tell that over there that's Yucatan or whatever.
Yeah. And I guess it's just maybe bias, theater show bias or whatever. But you can tell like the crowd's a lot more lively here than some of the concerts we were at this weekend.
Although this stage is, I guess, not great to mix in some songs.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think also because it's mostly AKB songs,
Yeah.
and some of the songs you can't really
Worst
mix
sort of
too.
songs.
Yeah, like Come On the Gex, you can't really.
Yeah, so is that why Japanese fans don't like it?
Yeah, because you can't mix it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But there is like the woohoo parts in that, so
Yeah.
there's that. Yeah, it's like that's the thing. There's like only like 3, 4 like NMB songs in this whole set list,
Yeah.
and like the first one doesn't come until halfway through the end.
Yeah, well, because weren't you saying on the podcast that it's like they all only really have 3 or 4 NMB songs, but it's where you put them that matters.
Yeah. And so if you put them way too late, then like you get like
Then no one
you
cares.
get restless. Yeah, you get tired. Like, why am I watching this? Why am I not like at AKB instead?
If I wanted to go to AKB theater, I would have, just stayed in Tokyo.
No, I just stay home.
Well, yes, you would have just stayed home.
I actually leave. I leave Japan if I wanted to watch Japan. Anyway, yeah.
Flee, run away.
Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the promoted members. I guess they got to see their new hairstyles today. So let's see. Ray Ponch did like the twin tails, of course, and then Nihei Minami did the like braided ponytails, and then Wakatan did like that like the braided like wrap thing around your head, like what Princess Leia has in Return of the Jedi when she's on indoor. And then Yucatan, because her hair is still too short, didn't do anything. The same hair as usual. But yeah, what can you do? I think she got like a haircut like a week ago or a couple weeks prior or something. It was like no one really knows because it was still short.
Bad timing.
Yeah, bad timing indeed. But yeah, that was a cool thing, I guess. All right, and then so then I guess like the actual like the environment, I guess, of the set list. So we don't really, I don't go over set list really because you've seen it, but you know, what parts like got your attention?
So, well, because I watched this stage, but I haven't watched it much. It's not the best stage, but it's also not the worst stage. It's yeah.
Well, I guess current in is pretty rough.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just. I think actually the units are decent. I mean the opening block and the post unit block can be kind of samey. It's got like the actual generation change song is.
It's
It's okay.
yeah, it's kind I think it's kind of hype, and then the next two songs are kind of yeah. I guess like that adrenaline, the teammate. You hear the teammate Chica Idol mix crap that no one likes, that Jeff doesn't like especially.
Fucking Jeff.
Yeah.
And then you've got like because you can see that they've settled into it now, except for your buddy Nishiyuma, who's still you can kind of tell she's still a little
Kind of floundering.
Yeah, I mean, because her Shonichi she said was only in August. June. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't count.
It's like her and Ryo as well. Ryo was also here, so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
They're in the back corners where they belong.
Yeah.
When you have that much experience.
Which is unfortunate because she couldn't see my pen lights. Sad.
Oh, Ryo or Nishiyuma?
Nishiyuma.
I thought she could see you.
Well.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know if she did. It's funny to watch other people get res. Because, so there were two Yoshimin fans ahead of me.
Okay.
And, she was, at one point, she was like, and it's like, she could have been pointing at me, but she wasn't because I didn't have
Why
her.
would she be pointing
Why
at
would
you?
she be pointing at me? Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the thing, the whole res wars as we call them here. Because I when I sit down, everyone's all settled in. I do a kind of a quick near area. Okay, who's Oshis or who's basically if there's any like Nishiyuma, for example, for the show, if there are any other Nishiyuma Oshis that were next to me, I'm like, oh god, this guy's gonna be stealing my res or whatever, So there was another Nishiyuma guy 2-3 seats away from me, but
Yeah. It's interesting, the calls.
yes.
Even though Raypon is, the most popular, or maybe she just has the most whales, I don't know, but it's her calls were weak.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, there was only one Raypon fan near me, and he was just not into it at all. But the Yucatan people were very loud.
Wakatan was okay.
The Yoshimin people.
Yoshimin were there's a lot of Yoshimin people here today.
Yeah.
Sayuki was also
Yeah.
pretty loud.
Nishiyuma did fine.
Yeah.
Yuma-chan's.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my row. We were all Yuma fans basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's also funny because you see the members would be paired together during certain parts, So it'd be Manamin and Nishiyuma were always together.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would never hear the Manamin. I would always hear Nishiyuma.
Yeah.
Part of the problem.
Yeah, definitely.
But then I think with Raypon and Yucatan, I think I heard more Yucatan than Raypon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always interesting. You get to know the calls and stuff.
Yeah, and then there was one Yucatan girl Oshi near me who she looked kind of like the actor Ezra Miller, and she was just totally. I was seriously confused for a while if she was a girl until she got up, and it's yes, that's a girl. And it's she was just not into it at all. I mean, I don't know if she was mad that she had to sit in the back or something.
That sometimes is it, yeah.
Yeah. There was also some guy on the last song, Tempopo no Keshin.
Okay.
And he was he had a little microphone. I didn't see who he was a fan of, but he had a little microphone and he was singing along to it and doing the hand movements.
Okay, yeah. There are some people who do that.
Yeah, and then during the instrumentals, he was doing air guitar. And it's okay, dude.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen it, but I definitely do see the people who do the footy-copy, they copy the gestures.
The Yoshimin guys were doing.
Yeah. So yeah, you see a lot of weird characters, I guess. As you were saying before we hit record, like you noticed like different kinds of Ojisans and fans that were here. So
Ojisans with dyed hair, Ojisans with very wild white hair, Ojisans who are salarymen or something, I guess. All the food groups of Ojisans.
yeah, a bunch of cool guys, I guess.
A balanced meal of Ojisans. I dare you to make that the title of the video.
Oh God. Oh, I had another idea, but yeah, I guess that's a pretty good one too. Maybe it'll be on the thumbnail teaser text or something.
That would be fine too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess like during the MCs, it's some like they talked about kind of like reflected on the past year of being Ninth Gen members, and so they talked about like on my first Shonichi I was so nervous and stuff like that, and then like Yoshimine also talked about it, and then she also like because she was also in Nagisa's grad concert as the piano player during Boko Deate, which I forgot to mention this in my Nagisa recap video, but yeah, that happened. So she did a great job. But yeah, she said she was like way more nervous for that than she was for her Shonichi here. So that's pretty cool. And yeah.
Yeah, it's not it's like I may not be able to understand cashiers, but I can understand idols, so that's good enough, I guess.
For sure, yeah. Oh yeah, and they talked about like Handshake event and Hashkai episodes. Fortunately, no Gaijin stories.
No Mado stories.
No Mado stories, no Arda stories.
No.
Being like, I was hoping like I'll be like, oh yeah, I got some like foreign person from Indonesia to show up, and then he was my fan, but he liked my sister too, so I was having funny, but yeah. So it's all right. MCs, they're okay. Yeah, and then oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you about the Tom Popo part with like the pen light turn it yellow, but I guess you got the.
I surmised.
Yeah, you figured out. Yeah. That's like the only like rule for this stage is like turn that yellow, and then everything else is free game pretty much. Yeah. And I guess for like the end, like the Miyokuri. So there are two parts to this. So there's like the wave off Miyokuri where like they're on stage still before they actually go off and they come back. I guys got good res from that part. Well, usually I don't expect much. But like I prepared my sketchbook, and I drew like Yoshimine slime, and I drew a picture of a slime from Dragon Quest. And so she saw it, and then like did a little like slime pose or something. So that was good rest from her. And then Nishiyuma for a whole show, like I kept on like waving my like Nishiyuma big glove Uchiwa. She didn't see it until that part of the Miyokuri, and she saw it and then did a big heart. And I'm not sure if you saw that, but yeah. So big love. I got big love.
Big love.
Yeah.
At least somebody's got big love.
I got big love, yeah. Yeah, and then actually, speaking about my sketchbooks, like I was right next to the camera, so I actually prepared my sketchbook so I could be on the shot. I'll have to check the tape later and see if I was there, but yeah, I prepared like I wrote a message saying like, oh, congratulations on your first anniversary, Knife Shin. And and that was the sign I showed to everyone as I went by during the actual proper Miyokuri, and everyone said thank you. And then yeah, during Nishiyuma, I flipped it over to the backside. That's the trick. So if you have two messages, you have a message for everyone, you have a message for the member you actually want to talk to. And I was like, oh, I'm going back to America, day after tomorrow. I'll see you at the online Hashkai. And then she like started crying. And it was really funny because Ray Palm was like right next to her at the end. And she saw like the message, but it wasn't for her. And she started crying too. I was like, why are you crying? I don't know you. Yeah. But yeah, that was a good moment. How was your Miyokuri? Was it as hyped as everything as you imagine, as I hype it up as?
It was, it was cute. I mean, they were all like, "Oh my God, a white guy! Hi!" So that was cute. Raypon in particular was like, "Thank you," and she does actually have like a good response. Mm-hmm. I'm still opposed to the push, but she has a good, she does give good res.
Yeah,
I'll give her that.
Yeah, that was like after like my second time, like I was like. First time I was like, I don't really care about Raypon. Second time I finally like noticed Raypon. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see the appeal. I can see why people like her. But yeah.
On the other hand, you have Wakatan, who I actually think is like, she's pretty and people, she's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. People should be less bitchy about her. But even though, Art is a weirdo, but still. But also like her response during Miyokuri was just like, hi. It's like,
very like kind of like robotic,
yeah,
or
I mean, it wasn't
not very good Tayo or whatever.
Yeah, Yeah, so Rapon the MVP and Wakatan the least valuable player.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think I noticed, like, sometimes, like, her Wakatan's calls weren't that strong sometimes.
Yeah.
Even, like, when it was a solo, it still
Yeah.
wasn't that strong, which is, like, kind of weird. But, yeah.
I mean, other than like during the whichever song she centered, I don't remember, but that one I felt
Nagisa
like,
Cycle.
no, well, no, not that one, the other one, the unit song.
Okay, yeah.
That one, it was like people were into it, but I think by not the time Nagisa Psycho rolled around, people were tired.
Yeah.
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 It's a good song.
It reminds me of the units. Like, so yeah, that's like when I kind of like changed my pin lights. So for that first one, I was Yoshimin for that. How about you?
Yeah. I was
Just follow the.
yeah, the Yoshimin people in front of me were, so loud, and
Gave you the hard sell.
I feel like it's important to, like half the fun of this is like shouting
Yeah.
words and then shouting their translations in Japanese and apparently Ainu.
Okay, yeah.
Like cheering is half the fun.
Yep.
So because the Oshimin fans were doing such a good job, I
Yeah.
felt obliged to. Also, that's Bears colors, so I thought that was,
Okay,
funny.
orange and blue.
The Bears. The Bears.
The Bears. Okay, and then let's see. The next one's a demo one, so Nishiyama, of course.
Nishiyama.
I was a little conflicted because there's also Ryopi was in that
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
so I'm like,
But,
yeah.
cheater.
Yeah, actually, that was the problem. So actually, because I was on the left side and you were on the right side, so Nishiyama was like on your side for most of the
Yeah.
show. So that's why before I was like, oh, we should trade seats because I kind of knew beforehand. But yeah, whatever. Yeah. Then the Sayuki song also.
Sayuki,
Yeah, Sayuki Red Green as well. And then the last one was Yucatan.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
So again, gotta go be against Rapon. Against Rapon till the very end.
Raypon sucks. Raypon sucks.
Yeah, and then okay. Also, yeah, actually, mostly in the first half of the show, like Sayuki, I thought was like really impressive. Like really good expressions, really fun to watch, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed she has the Yuina disease, where she gets really, really sweaty. Did you notice, like in the back half, like her, because she has like kind of like a bob style hair, but like half of it was kind of like flopped over her top of the head.
I was thinking actually, she was the only one where I could be like, oh yeah, she's sweating.
Yeah.
Everybody else looked, didn't look super sweaty.
Yeah. It's the same way with Yuina. Like she was like one song, it was like she took like a fucking shower. That's how sweaty they get. But yeah.
Well, for every Makana, there is a Deguchi.
Yeah. the two sides of sweat, of vile sweat. But yeah, I guess. So overall, how was your first theater show experience?
Yeah, it was good. I'll definitely do it again. Hopefully with some girls I actually care about next time. If nothing else, I got some res from Cameron, so that made my day.
Yeah,
that's thank you.
Yeah, that's always like the special treat, like the secret surprise, secret best thing. Yeah. Yeah, see, like Domo, thank you to you. Yeah. And like I went by and was like, oh hey, and did like a thumbs up to me. Like that's what Americans do, like they thumbs up to each other.
Yeah. So if you're, Kaneko-san, if you're watching this, otsukare-sama.
Yeah, thumbs up. All right, yeah, and that's gonna do it for this Ninth Gen Theater Show vlog. Yeah, the last theater show this year. I'm not going to be in the country after a couple days. I kind of said in the Miyokuri part, so it won't be until next year. I already have an event planned early in January. Hopefully, a certain birthday show will also be happening in January again, so I can make this trip actually worth it, and I don't have to do 2 trips to Osaka in a week because that's a stupid and expensive idea. But yeah. Let me know what your opinion. So the question of the video, I'd like to ask it for a comment, would be, what do you think about sweaty idols? Leave your response in the comment box. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend and stuff. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Peace.